Good day everyone, Complaining Gamer back again with another Cemu Breath of the Wild update for you. It's been a few days since I last made one of these, but I wanted to sit on the information and let it mature a little bit because things are changing so rapidly. If this is your first time visiting the channel, then welcome. Cemu is a Wii U emulator and I've done 4 previous videos on this topic, so please check them out. They'll be linked in the description below. Make sure to stick around till the end because there have been some juicy developments. Let's dive right in. Starting with some housekeeping, there are a few elements within Cemu that have a few issues that I have not mentioned before. One of those things is the inability to mark shrines with binoculars. Another thing lacking if we compare to the Wii U and Switch versions are the particle effects. Of course, neither of those are deal breakers, but they will be nice additions in future iterations of Cemu. Next up, I'd like to give a few Cemu community shout outs, starting with Gianmarco Chirico, who found the softlock fix. Then moving on to Michael Robles, who has actually made a website which will notify you when Breath of the Wild is fully playable. And finally, I'd like to give a shout out to Chrome Serial for his Breath of the Wild Cemu shrine list, which details which shrines can and can't be completed in Cemu 1.7.3. I've modified the list slightly to make their locations ambiguous. If you are genuinely interested in seeing the full list, their locations and where they're placed on the map, I'll provide that in the description below. Additionally, along with the shrine list comes a map made by Bad Koala. Of course, this list is only valid until April 2nd, when Cemu 1.7.4 is released for patrons and all shrines will be completable. However, I'd like to show my appreciation for the community's hard work. Of course, a community consists of a lot more than just 3 people, so if you feel that there is someone deserving, please leave a comment and let me know. There's going to be another shout out a little bit later, but this one is going to have a bit of a spotlight. Now, let's do some myth busting. A little while back, Reddit user PancakeJake123 shared a screenshot which showed grass and water under the map. Most people believe that both those elements were actually already rendered, but just below the map. But it turns out that Cemu devs, Xap and Peter Gubb actually have contradicted that belief. As seen in these Discord conversations, one user wrote, the grass was there in 1.7.3D as well, just under the ground. And Xap, Cemu dev, simply said, no it wasn't. Another user wrote, is it true that most of the bugs in Breath of the Wild happened because the collision is broken? I've seen so many people with contradicting opinions. Xap said, no, the theory is not true. It was due to missing GPU-CPU synchronization of textures, but not all issues. Peter Gubb chimed in with a very simple, it wasn't collision. Now you might say, okay, why is this interesting? But it's interesting because what it means is that there could be a potential FPS hit on performance. Nothing has been confirmed or denied, but it is something noteworthy. Now, a little teaser about the camera. One user wrote, is there a chance the camera room will work until the 2nd of April? Xap simply said, yeah, there is a chance. Of course, it doesn't mean much, but it's something. And as we all know, collisions are fixed in Cemu 1.7.4. For those of you confused about motion controls in Cemu, when your input controller is set to the gamepad and you find yourself in a situation where you have to use motion controls, it actually defaults to the mouse. So you simply click and hold with the mouse. Do I need a monster rig to play? My answer to this is no. My personal specs are I have an i5 6400 processor clocked at 2.7. I have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM and an NVIDIA 750 Ti. My operating system is Windows 7 64-bit. So my personal system is nothing special. Of course, if you have that super duper i7, then yes, you're going to see some improvement. Another interesting note, does changing the graphics pack resolution impact FPS? Strangely enough, in Cemu, the answer is no, or very, very little. So you will strangely see a similar performance at 360p as you do at 4K. This brings me nicely to my next point, and it's a bit of a bombshell. If collisions are fixed, if the camera is fixed, then the game is mechanically sound. But what would we still be missing? We would be missing cutscene playback. And guess what? One Cemu user who goes by the name Raj Costa took it upon himself to fix H.264 playback. This fix is absolutely free, and not only does it implement cutscene playback, it also tries to address the FPS issue by hacking the VSync. Huge props to Raj Costa for this fix, and he continues to work on it daily, not only making sure that Breath of the Wild works, but other games as well. Just as a little FYI, for anyone who is curious, when we analyze the cutscene file properties, we can see that they're running at 720p, 30 FPS at 4451 kilobytes per second bitrate on the Wii U version. To install this fix, it is incredibly easy. You simply download the DLL file and place it in your Cemu folder, and that's it. Now, cutscenes in Breath of the Wild and other games will play. If you want to enable the FPS hack, you simply go to Options and then tick GX2 Setup GPU Fence Skip Hack. What it actually seems to do is remove the VSync, so the FPS becomes very free, but it is highly erratic. So what people are doing is they're using Msi Afterburner to lock the frame rate to 30. Afterburner uses the backbone of River Tuner, and River Tuner is where you will find the FPS lock. People with powerful PCs are particularly benefiting in this scenario. One such user goes by the name Yam Gaming on YouTube, and he does a great job of showing Cemu at its best. Additionally, if you want to go off the wall crazy, Yam Gaming has actually released his own 4, 8, 10 and 12K graphics packs. Please remember, these graphics packs are not texture packs, they affect resolution. So if you have a beefy CPU GPU combo, that stable 30 FPS pot of gold is achievable. My system isn't quite up to the task, but there are many examples on YouTube showing this in action. On my i5-6400, I've had mixed performance. In my opinion, the golden goose chase of stable FPS is an ongoing one, as nothing is standardized yet. But in general, it does eliminate the need for cheat engine. I'm also aware that some people are using Z Launcher in conjunction with Raj's hack, but I haven't had time to play with that yet. So once again, thanks to Raj for his amazing work. I should reiterate that this is an unofficial workaround. The Cemu team themselves have not commented on whether they'll cannibalize this code and implement it into Cemu, or find their own H.264 playback solution. We really are this close, people, to a 100% Breath of the Wild experience on PC. I would also like to say a huge thank you to all of you out there who have been supporting the channel. Of course, Cemu updates are not the only content I produce. I would also like you to take a second to check out Cinematic Zelda and Cemu Visual Fidelity, if you would please. Links to those clips and everything in this video in the description below. One topic I'd like to finish on is how complete is the Zelda Cemu experience. I see a lot of comments where people are saying that Cemu is not ready. You can't finish the game. This comes down to perspective. Right now on 1.7.3, you can go straight to Ganon and complete the game. Now, is that your version of complete, or is 100% your version of complete? In 1.7.3, can you do everything? No, you can't. However, you can do many things in the open world. Breath of the Wild has a vast environment to explore. I would argue that there's more to be had in exploration, discovery and experience than there is actually in the main story. But moving on, let's paint a picture of the very near future. April 2nd, Cemu 1.7.4 comes out. Collisions are fixed. If the camera rune is fixed, then 100% is achievable and everybody can stop complaining. As a disclaimer to all the safe space snowflakes out there, if I made a mistake, if I misquoted someone, if I made a technical error, if I forgot something or someone, or made any kind of mistake, please feel free to tell me. I'm happy to correct myself. However, tell me in a mature way, please. Let's be constructive, not destructive. I saw a great post on Reddit that said when you use the emulator, also go buy Breath of the Wild to show your support. And this is an idea that I am fully behind. Okay, that's it for now, people. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to try and answer them. I am doing my absolute best to reply to every single comment. But please, I have one request. Before you ask me anything, try Google search first, because you might be surprised that you find it in 5 seconds. It is always good to get the community involved. So people, put your thinking caps on and tell me, what would you like to see from my channel? Are you interested in demonstrations, updates, cinematics, screenshots, gameplay, reviews, technology, tutorials? I'd love to hear what you'd like to see, so let me know. I'm very curious. I've been the Complaining Gamer. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you next time. Now let's do some myth busting. A little while back, a Reddit user. Now let's do some myths. Now, let's do some myth busting. Ready? A little while back. Now, let's do some myth busting. A little while back, Pancake Jake, oh, for fuck's sake.